I had to give y'all a hand clap of praise. Family or Fiance, like that was a really great episode last night, y'all. That episode of Family or Fiance, that was a really good episode, and I'm actually shocked because y'all not supposed to give me that. Y'all hoes supposed to come up there and fuss and argue about stupid shit as to why these people shouldn't get married for y'all to turn around and give your blessing any damn way. Y'all brought generational curses and every damn thing up here on this episode. I said, damn. So let's go ahead and talk about it. Family or fiance, if you can hear, I bit my tongue, y'all, and I don't know what it is about them. It's fine throughout the day, but in the mornings, so if I sound like I'm slobbing on the knob, don't think. Um, Family or Fiance, season 2, episode 2. Kim and David, stepfather interrupted. Dear God. So they met at work where he was a high school English teacher and a coach, and she was the counselor. She has 2 sons. CJ is 20, Connor is 15, and he has 5 older kids. All his children are adults. David proposed to her not even within 6 months of them being together, but they've been engaged for 4 years. Pretty much everybody was happy about it in the family except for her damn Sharon. He thinks that she babies them. She says that he's just old school and feel like because he has adult children, he knows what he's doing. And a lot of older people, they feel that way when they have older kids versus somebody that's a new mom. They like, girl, please, you knew. I done been here and done this 5 times over. You only got 2. I done been here 5 times. Trust me, my way is better. Not all the time. And I really wish a lot of people would get out of that mentality that the way I raise is right and everybody else is wrong. And this is the way they need to do it. Nah, now don't get me wrong. My parents, I didn't have a strict upbringing. Don't get me wrong. It was some things that Jimmy Leon wouldn't let us do. And it was some things that Joy Sand wouldn't let us do. But we wasn't strict. We were allowed to watch what we wanted to watch within reason. You know what I'm saying? They will allow us to listen to whatever music we wanted to. You know what I'm saying? They allowed us to wear whatever we wanted to. You know, my girl, when fronts, bitch. When fronts was the shit back in the 90s, my brother had a pair, okay? They didn't mind him walking around with gold teethuses. You know what I'm saying? It was just a way of expression. It was what it was. You know, he won within reason. He ain't wearing the church or nothing like that. But, you know, if he wanted to study school and whatnot back in the 90s, you know, if you have fronts, you was the man, girl. Do you hear me? And his damn page, bitch. I came up in a time with pages. My brother had a pager, and bitch, when his would break, he'd give me his broken one, girl, and I had one girl. I'd be walking around with my pager with the battery in it. Like, that whole really worked. You couldn't tell me shit, bitch. I had a black pager, a red pager, a clear pager, a yellow pager. I had the ones that go on the side. When you look and you turn that bitch on the side, and it got the 3 buttons up there, all hungry, you couldn't tell me nothing. Went by pager back in the 90s. So, you know, we were able to do that. Whereas there were some kids that I went to school with whose parents were strict. Whose parents wouldn't allow them to watch certain channels on TV. Who wouldn't allow them to, you know, dress a certain way, wear a certain label. Who wouldn't allow them to listen to whatever music that they wanted to listen to, whatever the case may be. And it made me, you know, not so much stop being friends with them because I was always friends with them, but it made me not want to hang with them. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of the things that I wanted to do, I know that you couldn't do. You know what I'm saying? So but then again, I'm not saying raising your kids are wrong. Raising your kids that way are wrong either. I'm not necessarily saying that. Sometimes it works. Sometimes kids need that type of structure. You know, because if they don't, they'll derail and fall off the hinges. I mean, it's convoluted, child. It's a lot. We're gonna move on. So CJ, Connor, and her sister Fat Girl, we're gonna call her Fat. Quiet as it's kept, I was finna call her Erica Alexander's body double. Cause that's exactly what Mama giving me. Erica Alexander body double. A nasty piece of Erica Alexander body double in that. But her sister Fatina, aka Fat from Round Way, are coming for Kim. And her sister's issue is her nephew's happiness, as it should be. David's mother Claudette, his oldest son Aaron, and his cousin Nakia are coming, and their issue is it's too soon, and is he really happy? I do feel like it's too soon. If for you to engage to this woman, not even 6 months would you matter, but y'all been engaged for 4 years, yeah, nigga, it was way too soon. The point of you for doing that was what? I never understood people that do that. I mean, was that your way of ensuring that she don't leave or don't go to somebody else? Or like, I didn't. Explain it to me, Kim. And then at the end of this shit, to find out y'all still ain't married yet. So it's like, I guess, Kim. So Kim's tasks are to cook dinner with David's family and play two truths and a lie. And David's task is to play connect the dots with the family. What I loved was when his family came in, she greeted them with open arms. They was just as excited to see her as they were to see him. See, that's why I said this episode was really, really good. It wasn't the proverbial, the two families hate each other and blah, blah, blah. This seemed a lot more real to me. Like, I was with it. So CJ and Connor talk about how he took the doors off the hinges in the house to keep them from closing the door. And her sister didn't know that. CJ talked about how he suggested he move out because of the stress that he was putting his mom through. And when he did move out, she was heartbroken. And when Fat from around, this is when she turned from Fatima to Fat from around the way. This is when she turned from Erica Alexander's body double, Fatima, into Fat from around the way. Because see, when Fat from around the way heard that shit, bitch, she was not here for that at all. She said doors off the hinges. The hell is you talking about? Move out? Stress he putting you through. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something. Especially when it comes to this door off the hinges thing. My mom was a heckler for me closing the door when I was younger. I got to a phase where I used to want my door closed throughout the day, but not so much at night. I was young. And my mama never took the door off, but what she did do was she unscrewed the piece that stick to the wall. So, you know, when the door closed and the hinge could catch it, you know, the metal piece, she took that off the door. That's what my mama did. My mama didn't take the, you know what I'm saying, thing off the door. Now, when I got older, I want to say about middle school. No, high school. Yeah. My freshman year, my mama went on ahead and put the thing back on the door, you know, because she ain't want to watch, you know, walk by and probably catch me playing with myself or whatever it is that us little girls did back in the day. That's what we did. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I be thinking about. It's like, when you 5, 6, 7, 8, okay, I get it. What the hell you need your door closed for? Nah, little nigga. But when you got a 15 and a 20-year-old, both sons, you know, waking up in the morning with hard-ons, you know they got to jack off when they wake up in the morning. You know they got to kind of got to do it when he get home from school, child. That's his stress reliever. You know what I'm saying? Like, they got to get out the shower. Like it's weird. It's weird. And I was on fat side. I was. And I'm going to tell you something. CJ, 20 years old, listen. My daddy, when he was alive, he told my brother, he told us just like this here. When y'all graduate high school, you got two options, college or military. Either one, because you got to get the fuck out of here. That's basically what he was saying. So, I mean, don't look at it like that, CJ. And then come to find out you didn't even want to come back home. So, I mean, you know, I don't really consider that no concern. You know what I'm saying? As a 20-year-old, yeah, that should be your mentality, working so you can move out. That's the reason why they got college. You could have just carried your ass to college, out of state college, or in another city somewhere. Moving on. So the family's concerned. So Nakia's issues is the conflicting parenting styles. Claudette's issue is that she wants him to work on his anger problems because it gets really out of control. Aaron wants him to work on his communication and also the bond with her two sons. I really appreciate that. CJ doesn't like the way that they're being treated sometimes. Connor doesn't like how he compares them to his other kids. Since he's moved in, a lot of things have changed, and he wants his mom to put her foot down more. Fat from around the way says that if he's going to be their stepfather, he has to have a relationship with her two sons. Um, y'all know how I feel about the door thing. Comparing the damn kids. I hate when people do that too. I hate when people try to put kids against each other, and that's the quickest way to put kids against each other because they already don't the fuck like you around that time because of the way that you was treating them, and you're trying to blend the families together. How do you expect for them to come in genuinely liking your children when you treating them like shit and then also comparing them to their kids? So it's almost like, nigga, fuck you. I don't even like your daddy. So I don't, I'm cool. I'm cool. Like, I totally get it because that's the way that I would take it. I wouldn't want to have a relationship with your children. Dan sure don't want to have a relationship with you. I want your ass gone. Like, I can't stand with, like, your overgrown, rusty ass sitting up there comparing children. Like, I don't, I can't rock with that. I can rock with a lot of things, but that right there, like, that's division and divisiveness if I've ever seen it. And that, I ain't with it. So Fat gets David ass together about the shit that she heard when she was round there going to that damn house. And I was with Fat. I was with her for having an attitude. Listen, she came in with an attitude. So much so, his family was like, oh, okay. Hey, sis, how you doing? But they ain't want no parts of it. Listen, that's why I rock with Fat because she a lot like me. Girl, I'm not about to be fake or phony with you bitches. I heard something and I don't like it. And I ain't glad to be here. I ain't happy to see nobody. What I want to do is get to the bottom of what's going on. I can rock with that. Fat said, I won't be able to sleep easy tonight until me and this fuck nigga have a discussion about the way he treat my nephews around there. I was with Fat. I was. Don't get me wrong. She could have came in and spoke to them and all of that. I totally get that. But that wasn't the space that she was in. I rock with it. So they each do tasks with the family. So she talks about the struggle with parenting. That is a huge struggle because he was raised old school. Any two times you think it's okay to take the doors off the hinges. That's old school raising. Whereas she's old school and she was probably raised like that, and that might be why she's a lot more lenient when it comes to her children. I got a personal thing about that. Not me personal, but shit within my family that I would never discuss. But I think that's why she's a lot more, I wouldn't say lax, because she's not lax, because them kids talk like they got a lot of sense. So I know they got sense about them. But I think she's a lot more lenient on some things that he would deem like, nah, they shouldn't do this, or no, they shouldn't do that. We're gonna move on. David was asked, why does he think CJ and Connor are the problem? He says because they need to respect him. He says taking doors down were both their ideas, and Connor feels like that was a lie. If anything, it was just so that she wouldn't argue with you. Even though she did admit it was a conversation that they both had, a part of me does feel like I feel like, yes, that's something both of us agreed upon, but I do also, I can see, but only because I don't want there to be an argument. Only because I don't want to keep talking about this. Only because I know if I don't say yes and agree to it, you're going to harangue about it. Only because I know if I don't agree to it, you're going to be petty and you're going to harp on it somehow, some way, like you're going to nitpick until I agree to go on ahead and allow you to take the doors off the hinges. You know what I'm saying? So a part of me, and it's no shade, David, but I'm sorry. While I feel like the conversation was had between the both of y'all, I'm sorry, Kim. I don't know. How you are with your kids, Kim, you never would have agreed to that. I could tell to that. So that's the reason why I feel like Connor hit it onto something when he said only to appease him so that you could be able to sleep easy at night. That I believe. And yeah, you gotta earn respect, bruh. You haven't even been there for 6 months. You proposed to my mama. You've been here for 3 to 4 years. You thinking you gonna come in and change our family dynamics to suit you in this perfect little bubble that you want to see yourself in? Nah, bitch, you got your own kids to do that with. Girl, go marry your kids, mammy, and y'all go sit around there and live up under y'all under y'all perfect bubble. That ain't our bubble. We ain't like that, Jack. See, let me tell you something. David, you got the right ones, because it sure couldn't have been me or my brother Sean. If you thought you would have ever came and changed anything up at your sand house, girl, shit. Moving on. Connor wants him to back off sometime and just listen. We're going to get to that in a minute. That's where the generational curse comes in. Claudette talks about how David has never apologized to her, no matter how much he hurt her feelings. And I was going to be on your side about that, mama, until we get down to the generational curses. That comes back to that. We're going to get to that. So the family dinner. So Fat from around the way apologizes for her attitude when she came in and talked about the doors being taken off the hinges was the issue. She didn't know nothing about that. His side seems to think that there was nothing wrong with that, and Connor leaves the dinner. It's funny. You're saying that there's not a problem with that, but David admits that he had a problem with his upbringing. So it's like, that's such an oxymoron. You don't have a problem. You don't see where they see you taking doors off the hinges to a teenage boy and a young man is a problem, but it was done to you as a child, and you have huge issues with the way that you was raised. Like, ain't that an oxymoron, or is that more like irony? Y'all drop down in the comments and let me know which one it is. The Englishman. L. Teddy, where you at? You a whole English professor. Get me together in the comments. Anyway. And I wasn't mad at Connor for leaving the dinner. Girl, Connor was over it. Connor said, bitch, I'm not putting up with this. I'm not dealing with this. I ain't got no time, and I don't want no parts. I won't mad. So Claudette tells him about not apologizing to her when she gets upset, and then he gets mad and shuts down, and, dinner was ruined. We're going to get to that in a second. So Fatina talks to Kim about what happened at dinner, and Kim said it brought back childhood issues with the way that he was raised, and that's where the generational curse comes in. But it really comes in down to this nasty piece of therapy session. So they talked to Tracy about the issues with David's mom. Tracy feels like he puts David before. Tracy feels like Kim puts David before CJ and Connor, and David wanting to turn her kids into what he wants them to be. And Tracy wants him to talk to his mama. Tracy, I live for Tracy McMullen because she hit the nail right on the head. He does want them to be just like his kids. That's why he constantly compares the two of them. And I love how Aaron made it perfectly clear that her kids are her kids. They're their own entity, and they have their own personality. He didn't even like how he would compare her kids to them, because he knows how that's going to be a problem, and how that will make them feel a way, not only about him, but make them feel a way about the other kids. Because you want to sit up and compare them. It's not fair. And you are not the advocate of what a perfect parent is. If you raised your kids the same way your mama raised you, you are not the advocate for sitting up here trying. And that ain't no shade, David. And that ain't no shade, Miss Claudette. But it is true tea. So Claudette and David come for their therapy session, though. So David says that he always felt like an afterthought. And he talked about how, when he would win all of these medals and accolades in high school for sports, he would always throw them away because she would never show up. She would never be there to congratulate him. He would hardly hear that he loves you, and she was just, she did enough to say that she's a mother. But when it came to emotional, she wasn't there. She was checked out. And that's why that's why he raised his kids the same way, because that's all he knew. That's all he knew. And that's why his kids were raised like that. But here's the gimme gotcha. The mama then acknowledges that she does do that. And the reason why she does do that is because that's the way she was raised. That's the way her mammy raised her. Ain't that some shit? That's generational curse as I ever seen it. She said, listen, my mother hardly ever said I love you, but because she took care of me, it was more so through actions than it was through words. So I couldn't give you what wasn't given to me. Generational curses. She can't give you something that wasn't given to her. Like I said, wow. I'm going to tell you something, David. I started off not liking you. You pulled my emotions in so many directions, David. And like, David, when you started crying, that really made me like look at you in a wholly total different way, because you really didn't want to be like that, and you don't want to be like that. And you've held on to that for 49 years. They say you're 49. You held on to that for 49 years. And it all came out in this instance, and you needed that. You needed that. And the fact that you was really remorseful, and you felt it and you understood it, and you know, you even felt bad for the way that you treated CJ and Connor, and you acknowledged that it was wrong, and you acknowledged how fucked up it was, and you know how they had something good coming in, and then you came in trying to, and you fucked it up, and you felt really bad. Like, I enjoyed seeing that coming from you. Like, I really appreciate that. Like, I really did. Like, child, and I'm going to let it alone because I'm damn near about to get misty at it. And now I want to do that because that's where he was pulling me. But I ain't going to do that. I'm going to get myself together. I'm fine. Anyway. And not because I was raised like that or anything like that. But, you know, I felt his emotion. And it was crazy. So David apologizes to CJ and Connor for the way they treated him, and Kim talks to them the day after the apology. You know, they both basically said they're willing to give him a clean slate, but they ain't forgetting. Like, you can't fully forget something like that's been 3 years in the making. It's probably going to take them 6 years to get over it. Okay? Because it took 3 years to get these feelings. So it's going to take 3 years to get out of them feelings, plus the next 3 years to rebuild. So that's 6. 336. You get it? So the blessing ceremony. Basically, girl, everybody gave their blessings, including Fat from round the way, Connor and CJ. Girl, is it me, or do CJ look like one of Trina Braxton kids, but just a lot more cuter? No shade, but he's a lot more cuter. But he was giving me one of the Trina Braxton kids. It's funny. He giving me Trina Braxton. Fat giving me Erica Alexander body double. I don't know who Kim looked like. Kim looked like herself, kind of, sort of. Girl, David looked like somebody. I don't know who he looked like, but David looked like somebody. Somebody gonna drop it down in the comments. It was a lot of lookalikes in that family, girl. Maybe that's why y'all going through generational curses and identity crisis, because y'all run around here being body doubles to people. Anyway, that's all I got. I ain't got no more to give y'all. Family or Fiance, that had to been the best episode that I've seen from the last season to this one. I can't wait to see if something gonna top it. Probably sound ratchet. We'll see. But that's all I got. I ain't got no more. I'm gone. See y'all tonight for Potomac. Bye.